folks, this is DJ. Thanks for tuning in on this fabulous Friday the 13th in this odious month of October. Are you ready for calendar trivia? The last Friday the 13th in October was in 2006. We won't be lucky again until 2028 when Friday the 13th once again occurs in October. Just as an FYI, whenever Friday the 13th is in October, Halloween will always be on a Tuesday. Yep, always a Tuesday. It's now time for me to spill the beans. I used to think that spilling the beans meant dumping the garbanzos on the floor. Yep, beans on the floor. But really it means it's time for me to tell my bone-chilling tale. Here we go! Here we go! Halloween, 1981. It was a Saturday. I was yanked from my Lego world by my mother screeching, "Oh my God, it's Halloween! Get in the car!" Immediately I was overcome with a queasy gonna vomit type of feeling. The car stops. Elbows entwined, we leave the car behind in a dark, remote parking spot. Mom continues to sing the chorus of Daydream Believer, our usual travel song. I agreed to move my feet as she prized me away from the car's bumper. Fear settled on top of me. I was the ball in a shell game. Don't freak out, that's just a metaphor. It means that I was scared and I thought I was going to die. Yep, die. Someday my Robin costume would be discovered and they'd have to identify the rotting corpse dressed in it. On June 4th, 2007, a Monday, I decided that when I actually die, I will be buried in my Robin costume. Best day ever when I learned to buy things on the internet. Batman. Come on, DJ, don't get sidetracked. Focus. So, like it or not, we're in. It wasn't the skeleton at the door that bothered me. It was the way that the doors opened and closed. I tried to make a run for it, back to the paranormal doors, but there was no getting out. Mom grabs my hand and tugs me to her side. Suddenly, her hand slips from my sweaty little paw. It's just figurative language for hand. Shaking, I started tracing the outline of the R on my precious apparel, just going straight up and around and slanted down. Straight up and around and slanted down. At this point, I can't see. The nervous sweat from my forehead was pouring into my eyes, creating a cloudy, dewy window view. Not Claret and clear. At the time, I was glad that I could not see the evils ahead of me. I jump as I feel two monster hands grab me by the waist and lift me up onto a small bent pipe. Not one that you smoke, but one that's under the sink. I feel the prison bars pressing against my chest, so I grab them. It's a good thing too, I reckon, because the dang thing started moving. From behind my cloud-covered eyes, I could see specks of lights and shadows moving about. A chill set in, but it was the smell that did me in. The odor was so strong, I could taste the moldy apples floating in an onion soup breeze. Still holding on to the edge of my rolling prison for dear life, Mom says, "We're done!" Rubbing my eyes back to reality, I was awestruck. We had arrived at the gates of hell. Yep, hell. At the time, I couldn't tell if the demons were pouring into or out of hell, but they were hovering about in straight lines. I let go of the metal bars and forced my feet to the floor. I leaned my weary body up against a nearby table. Table it wasn't! My hands were transported like luggage on a roundabout. The ghouls around me cackled, screaming songs of severed limbs. Frozen again, I tried to imagine and prepare for life with hooks instead of hands. Then, clunk, crinkle, witches' spells! In Mom's hand. Nope, Mom's calloused hand. Those hard chunks of familiarity pulling me back to the car. That was my first ever trip to a superstore. We bought several supersized bags of Milky Ways that day, which I gave out at my very own haunted house. The next day, we went back and bought milk there. Mom was persistent. She always said, "We're gonna live just like everybody else." And we did. We tried to look like everybody else while we did what everybody else was doing. You know, some people say that going to a Kmart is a nightmare. But who would know that it actually, literally was one for me? This is DJ, also known as DJ J.B. Jones. And you're listening to Autism Live, Living and Loving Life. What's your on the spectrum horror story? Lines are open. We'll be back after these messages.
7A. What number is this, Jim?
7A.
Okay, don't get excited, man. It's because I'm short, I know. Oh, I could hide beneath the wings of the bluebird as she sings. The 6 o'clock alarm would never ring, but it rings and I rise while the street cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean
You're right.